Welcome back, eSIM Studios Daily Tech News. Let's go.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
It is Monday morning, October 23rd, 2023. Now, I was doing some research for today's Daily Tech News podcast, show, video, whatever you want to call it, or all the above. And I was running across some news articles on a number of different topics, but it seemed like there was basically one thing that really stuck out to me as far as news, and not just tech news, but big news that will shape the way Android devices move forward in this next fiscal year of 2024. It's big news, and the more I researched the topic, the more it hit me like a ton of bricks. This is what I need to focus the show on today. It is the brand new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 CPU. This new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 CPU will power all of the flagship Android devices for the next year. And they are getting ready, Qualcomm is getting ready to announce it here shortly. Now, why is this such big news? Well, it's not only going to be in all of the flagship devices, minus the Pixel, well, I guess minus the iPhone as well, but moving forward, as far as the Samsung flagships, the new S24 series that's coming out here in a few months, all the new Xiaomi devices, OnePlus devices, moving forward. Now, it'll mainly affect the Samsung users here because Google uses their own Tensor, and Apple uses their A17 Bionic. Now, this is such big news because the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is going to see a historic, and I will hit on that title again, historic performance boost for this new 8 Gen 3 CPU. Now, when I say historic, what do I mean? And I'll get into the details here shortly, but historic because generally Apple has always dominated the flagship CPU market in mobile technology, more specifically phones. Their CPUs have, I guess, for years, I'm trying to think back how many years, have dominated the performance sector in the flagship CPU department, as far as not only benchmark scores, but just all across the board. They've traditionally had the highest performing, most powerful CPUs you could put in a mobile device. Now, what if I told you, and the more I looked into it, the more I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I had to look in it some more and some more and some more, and every publication I came across was basically ranting and raving in regards to this next statement. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, yes folks, is going to beat Apple's best CPU, the A17 Bionic, which you can find in the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max models. For the first time ever, it appears that Qualcomm has finally done it. The performance testing for the 8 Gen 3 CPU beats the best CPU that Apple can put in a mobile device. I believe this is the first time in history this has ever happened. I was absolutely shocked. I was expecting it to every year when the numbers come out for the upcoming Snapdragon processor, it's a performance boost, but in the back of your mind, you always know that it'll always fall short of Apple's best Bionic chip that they currently put in their flagships. It looks like the tides have turned this year, and it should be celebrated because when you look at the very best Android devices, of course you have Pixel up there, but like I said, they've got their own thing going on, and they're not really focused on performance. They're focused on productivity and machine learning and AI now. And they've actively come out and said, hey, look, we're not trying to win any benchmark scores or benchmark tests. We're out to make the best product for you and for your device. Samsung, on the other hand, has harped on and made it a point to have performance underneath the hood of the flagship Samsung. And now, look, the Snapdragon will basically be in the Samsung on the US side, and they'll be in the latest OnePlus devices, but they may or may not this year be in T-Mobile stores. But you can still buy a OnePlus device in America from OnePlus, but it'll also be in Xiaomi, which is worldwide. They do not sell direct sales in the United States, so you're mainly going to see this in the Samsung Galaxy devices. Let's screen share. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, Qualcomm is going to have their yearly event where I believe it's in Hawaii, and all the big players are going to be there minus Apple. As far as this is like their flagship show for Qualcomm, the unveiling of their new Snapdragon CPU, and they do it at the end of each year because it's always typically been unveiled in the new Samsung Galaxy device. And again, if you watched our episode 1 of the Daily Tech News, you would know that Samsung is bumping up its release of the S24 series. Normally released it in February. They're going to do it in January, which makes it, I think, again, we went over the reasons why, and I won't get into it now. But one of the reasons is because Qualcomm releases, they want to make it a sooner release from when Qualcomm releases and announces their new Snapdragon chip. They announce it right before the end of the year, so heading into 2024 or the following year, boom, 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 these devices are ready to come out. Now, Xiaomi has typically released technically the very first device with the new Snapdragon chip worldwide and in China. But like I said, the Xiaomi phones technically don't have sales in America, so that's not really focused on. So in America, the biggest and baddest flagship releasing with the new Qualcomm Snapdragon chip is always the Samsung Galaxy series. Let's get into this. Let's share this. Okay. So, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 spec sheet leaked just days before launch. Let's get into it. Day before in Hawaii, they're going to unveil the 8 Gen 3. And here's everything you need to know. And this is a major leak as far as details, specs, performance, all the above on this new. Now, there's been leaks, but nothing like this where it's been leaked in full. It's going to be the next flagship smartphone chipset. It's going to be built on TSMC's and side note, this is why Google is so excited and counting the days that they switched to TSMC. As you can tell, Google uses Samsung and their Exynos foundation for their Tensor processor. Now, real quick, I'll make it fast. Pixel will use the Exynos Samsung foundation for their for the Tensor processors on next year's Pixel 9, but that'll be the last year. Moving into the Pixel 10 series, they are using TSMC. TSMC manufactures CPUs for Qualcomm Snapdragon chips and Apple Bionic chips. So they are worldwide known for the best manufacturer when it comes to the world's best processors. So you will see dramatic performance boost in the Pixel 10. That's why we weren't expecting much here out of the Pixel 8 series or the Pixel 9. But moving on to the Pixel 10, that's when it's going to take off for Google as far as performance and all that good stuff. And you'll really see the AI taking off in their devices moving forward. So it'll be based on this new Gen 3 is going to be based on TSMC's 4 nanometer process node. It's going to be an octa-core. It's going to have a 1 + 5 + 2 CPU structure. It'll be based on Cortex X4 Cairo CPU core clocked at 3.3 gigahertz. That'll be that one main core clocked at 3.3. 5 Cortex A720s, mid-range cores clocked at 3.2 gigahertz. And 2 Cortex A520 based efficiency cores clocked at 2.3. Okay, well, that's still fast for low cores. Usually those are in the 1 gigahertz range. Okay, it says leaks. Yeah, I was going to say these scores are higher. I mean, these clock speeds are higher than I originally remember. It says previous leaks had lower CPU speeds, but recently learned that Qualcomm is increasing the speed. Now, remember, they overclocked these too for Samsung devices. So I'm not sure if this is the speeds that the general 8 Gen 3 chips are going to see, and then Samsung might even have faster clock scores, because remember, they fine-tune them for Galaxy devices. So these might even be higher once we see the specs for the S24 CPU. It says, according to the leak sheet, the new processor will be 30% faster, 20% more efficient than the previous gen. It's going to have an Adreno 750 GPU, which is also 25% faster and more efficient. It says it boosts real-time hardware accelerated ray tracing with global illumination and supports Unreal Engine 5. It says Qualcomm has equipped the chip with various other graphics and visual technologies for an immersive gaming experience. Let's see. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 can handle up to 144 Hz refresh rate on device displays of 4K. It also supports external displays. Wow, what up to 240 Hz refresh rate? That's big. So you can connect it to a monitor, gaming monitor, and you can get 240 Hz refresh rates with these gaming monitors. Chip offers 10-bit color depth, HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision. It also supports USB 3.1 Gen 2. That's good. That's next gen. LDDR5X RAM, UFS 4.0 storage, Bluetooth 5.4, and Wi-Fi 7. The new Snapdragon Qualcomm processor comes with an integrated. Here's the next big modem, X75 5G modem for better cellular connectivity. That's the next step. Let's see. So do support up to 108 megapixel cameras. Oh, that may be why Samsung's bumping their so that's 24. You know how the S23 Ultra's got a 200 megapixel camera? I think. Oh, let's see. Okay, well, that would explain it. This 24 Ultra features a 4 Galaxy version. Okay, so that's why Qualcomm specifically makes a modified version for the Galaxy devices, because the original 8 Gen 3 only supports 108 megapixel cameras, but it's specially fine-tuned for the S24 Ultra for Galaxy quote-unquote version with the SoC supporting 200 megapixel cameras. Okay, that would make sense. 4K videos, 120 frames per second, and it supports 3D time of flight. So, let's see. Generative AI, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we know this. Wow, the new Hexacon NPU found on the chip is 98% faster and 40% more efficient than last year's Snapdragon chipset. Jesus Christ! And we'll look at this chart here in just a second. Okay, yeah. See, it says here we go. Qualcomm's upcoming. We're still waiting information about this market debut. It is said to ship with the new Xiaomi flagships later this month. Xiaomi has their Mi, or I guess they're doing away with the Mi series, but they're coming out with the Xiaomi 14. And those typically always carry worldwide carry the first flagship device to carry the new Snapdragon Qualcomm chip. That's coming out in December, I believe. In this, the Xiaomi's coming out in December. The announcement of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is coming out here in just a few days in November. The Titan, let's see. It may be fuzzy, so I'm not sure if you can really see the spec sheet here. And it's even fuzzy for me, so I doubt you can. I'm not going to go over everything. I think we already went down the spec sheet with all the main specs. All the other stuff is yeah, we already went over all that. So let me go to this one. It might show a little different spec. Share this tab. Okay, here we go. Now, like I said, Xiaomi 14 is now the fastest mobile SoC. This is where I was getting at, and I couldn't really believe what I was reading, so I had to cross-reference and triple-check everything. And apparently, this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is going to beat for the first time ever, the Apple A17 Bionic chip that's in the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. This is huge news. It's amazing. I can't believe this. Look at these numbers. Let's see. Leak specifications show that Xiaomi 14 is running a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Yes. Where are the scores? Yes, we already went over that. Here we go. Look at this. Now this is a Xiaomi device with the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 inside, powering that new Xiaomi. So let's see, Xiaomi 14 multi-score 7494 down here, fastest ever chipset seen in a mobile device. Okay, so Apple's a 3 nanometer, which is a 1 nanometer smaller than this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Let's see, the iPhone 15 with Apple's A17 Pro Bionic chip in it scored a multi-score of 7024. So it looks like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 not only just barely beats it, I'm not going to say blows the A17 away, but it beats it by a fair margin when you outscore the next best processor by over 400 points. That's a decent beating. And it scores a single core 2207, so that's pretty damn good. Now let's see how much RAM this phone was tested with. I'm assuming it was 12. Let's look at the UFS storage. 8 cores. It doesn't say. Oh yeah, here we go. Memory size 14 gigs. So it basically has a 16 gigabyte device. And I guess that was all that they had for it, isn't it? It was just tested 23rd this morning. Wow. So you're getting latest and breakest hot off the press news here on eSIM Studios. So you see the scores there. It basically oh, here we go. Here's a good chart. So check this out. I don't know why it says iPhone 16.2. I wonder if that's the iOS. So you get single core. You can see the specs right here. Memory, the iPhone had, here we go, iPhone, I'm not sure why it says 16.2. That might have been the OS. No, the OS is right there. I'm not sure, but it just does give you the specs as far as what device they tested or compared the benchmark to. Okay, cool. So we got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 right around the corner. Will be on your next Samsung flagship device. And speaking of Samsung, look, that'll make the S24 series, especially the S24 Ultra, just that much better of a device. I already think the S23 Ultra is the phone of the year for 2023, and I'm expecting the S24 Ultra to be the smartphone of the year for 2024, because if you can just build upon the S23 Ultra, you put a blazing fast CPU on there, and you add some more AI features into the device, what it sounds like Samsung is doing with these next S24 series, it'll just be the phone of the year. They're solidifying themselves as making the absolute best smartphone in the world for a second straight year. Now, if you want to get a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which I said is this year's best phone, Samsung has, for a limited time, has brought back their trade-in deals for the S23 Ultra series, or if you wanted to get the 23 or the S23 Plus, Samsung has got the best trade-in offers and or deals out of any carrier, out of any unlocked Apple website, Google website. Samsung has got the best, because it's even better than the carriers. Because with the carriers, yeah, you may get the phone for free, but you are still currently paying that off or tied down to that carrier for the next 2 to 3 years. Meaning if you wanted to go to another carrier, you still have to pay off the balance of that device, right? Well, when you get a phone from Samsung, it comes 100% unlocked. You can take it anywhere you want to go, and you can only pay $249 for the S23 Ultra, which is a steal, an absolute steal. Basically getting $1,000 off. So Samsung's bringing back, when they first released these S23 series, they'll have a phenomenal trade-in deal, or like with the Z Flip 5 or Z Fold 5, they have like 2 or 3, I think it's 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks when you announce it, from when they announce it to when they release it, they have phenomenal trade-in deals, and it's back. They are what I think is they're trying to get rid of all their extra S23 series stock inventory to make way for the new S24. But the S23 Ultra is so good of a device, it'll be a hands down no-brainer if you want to use the S23 Ultra through this next year of 2024. You're not gonna have any issues. The phone is so well built, it'll last you for a good, I don't know, for the next few years at least. But if you wanted to go get an S23 Ultra, if you missed out and you're looking for a good deal, this is it right here. Go to Samsung. I'll put a link in the description box for Samsung.com where I can take you to the S23 series on their website where you can trade in. Here's what you do. Go to eBay. I think you can trade in. They give you a really, really good trade-in values. Go to eBay. Find a cheap Z Flip 3, S21, S22, the base model, because they still give you like $600-700 for those. Go to the website, look at the trade-in deals, and then go, and once you see the list of trade-in deals for Samsung devices where they get you a real high trade-in value, go to eBay, find the cheapest one available, buy that on eBay, and then use that as your trade-in to get you like $1,000 off this S23 Ultra. So I'll put that in the description so you can go check that out. Now, if you get a new phone and you're new S23 Ultra and you're wondering, interested in switching carriers, what service you should use it with, got to check out this next website right here. Oh, sorry. Here's the S23 Ultra. I'm an idiot. Last episode, I went through the whole stream, and I was only on one tab, so I forgot to do it this time on this one tab. But yes, here's the S23 Ultra series. S23 Ultra for as low as $249. Samsung.com. I'll link in the description where you can go check this deal out. Now, moving on, if you get one of these deals and you're looking for a new service carrier, check this out. You're going to want to go to the FCC put out a brand new website that gives you basically, look, all these carriers have to report their service. They have to report that they cover in all 50 states. I don't know if they do Puerto Rico. I don't think so. I think it's just the continental. No, it's the all 50 states. Anyways, these carriers have to report their service to the FCC Coverage Maps. FCC has taken all the data from all the carriers as far as coverage and combined it into this one website. So you can type in your address here, and you can go by location. You can check it by providers, by area, and you can download the map as well. Yeah, I suggest you check this out. The link will be in the description to this website. Now, to give you an example, let me show you. Let me go pull. I went to Google Maps and pulled the address for the UPS store. So let me see if I can copy address. Copied address. Let's go back to the FCC website. Let's paste it. Okay, now let's see what it does. Let's go here. Okay, residential. It's my first time looking at the map, so hang on. Let's figure this out real quick. Fixed broad. No, we want mobile broadband. Oh, so it'll give you. Check this out. It'll give you home internet access, fixed broadband, and it'll also give you mobile for your mobile phone. It'll give you home for home internet, fixed broadband, and then you can switch over here to mobile broadband, which is cell phone service. So let me zoom into the area and we'll check out the right side and see what's going on. It's just to give you an example of how to use the map. So northeast side of San Antonio, that is the map. Let me zoom out just a little bit. I think you can layer it with the different carriers. Yeah, toggle layers. Okay, so here's the address: broadband, environment, outdoor, stationary, technology, 4G. Where's 5G? Oh, 5G is down here. Verizon. So the carriers they have are AT&T, Dish Network, which if you're not familiar, Dish bought T-Mobile had to sell off Spectrum when they purchased Sprint, and part of that deal is they sold off Boost Mobile. So Dish Network bought Boost Mobile, and it's no longer the shitty service that it used to be. I mean, it's still probably not, on the level of T-Mobile and AT&T and Verizon, but it's probably just under. So anyways, Dish Network purchased Boost Mobile and changed out their network. Boost used to be CDMA technology. CDMA, which is what Sprint used to use, which is why it sucked in the old days. CDMA has basically been useless and wiped out in the mobile industry. Everybody now is using GSM. Even Verizon is switched to GSM. It's a far superior network, and that's what T-Mobile, AT&T have been using for years. And I guess Boost, Sprint, Verizon all switched to GSM. So let's see. It looks like it's interesting because Dish doesn't get 4G or 3G. They just get these. Sorry, this is my first time looking at the map, so I apologize. But it looks like majority of Texas is covered by, it looks like at least 40 to 60. I'm assuming percentage of areas served. Sorry, I should have looked at this map earlier. Maybe you can get around, toy around on there. In vehicle mobile. I guess they have different. Let's see, layers. You can toggle availability challenge. Interesting. Fixed broadband. I'm trying to see, is that it? Because I've seen some more interactive maps before than this. Like the what is it? Damn, what's the name of that? I forget the name of that. Is it speed test? No, not speed test. Is it Okla? Is it Okla? OKLA? I don't remember, but provider detail. Let's see, broadband funding map. Anyways, it looks like, I know this might not. Let's see. I'll check this out. I'll put a link for this in the description box, and then there's a good app that I will. I can't remember the name right now, but as soon as I end this, I'm going to put the link to the app as well in the description box. So if you're looking for where you live, I'm going to be honest with you. This doesn't look too interactive or too, I'm not going to say accurate, but there's an app that I've used in the past that is far superior to this right here, but I'll link both in the description. So if you want to check them out, if you're wondering about switching cell phone service providers and you want to make sure that in your area you'll get the best coverage, check these out first. Now, before we end the stream, I wanted to go to an interesting story in regarding to the overheating issues with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPhone 15 series. So apparently, these scammers, as clever as they are, for as bad as they are, have gotten in on this overheating issue that's been sweeping the internet, taking the internet by storm with this story. iPhone 15 recall scam aims to hit unsuspecting users. So basically, now there's a scam going around. If you are an iPhone 15 user, beware of this scam. I don't know, it seems like it's picking up steam as far as how popular it is, but apparently there's scammers that are calling. I don't know how they get information from people that have an iPhone 15, because the scammers would have to know that somebody has an iPhone 15. But what they're doing is they're tricking these iPhone users. They're basically calling these iPhone 15 users, and they're saying, hey, the scammers are pretending to be Apple employees or representatives and saying, hey, there's a recall for the iPhone 15 since it's been overheating. We need you to send in your phone, and we'll simply send you a new iPhone, or 15 or 15 Pro Max, whatever they have. And apparently there's been people that just, sure, okay, what's the ad? I don't know how it's specifically set up, but apparently the iPhone users are getting tricked into sending these scammers their iPhone, and then obviously the scammers don't send the customers back a new iPhone. They just keep the iPhone that the people sent in. So it looks like, again, let me see if I can find how they get how they get the information. Like, how do you know that I'm not an iPhone user? Let's see, iPhone 15. Let's see, a report by Mashable. Okay, so Mashable is reporting the scam. Interviewed a person where she purchased her iPhone 15. A scam call came in before the reporter got to the device. Oh, so this happened to a reporter for a tech company or tech publication. According to the scammer's claims, her device would be amongst those that'll overheat, just like the other devices on the internet. So these scammers said, hey, if you don't trade this in, your phone's gonna overheat. Let's see. Yeah, they do a good job of authenticating or making it sound like that they're an Apple employee or an employee of a certain company when they're not. But if you're clever, you can catch on. If something doesn't feel right, it's typically not. Let's see. Yeah, so just beware. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot there in this article, but if you're an iPhone user, just beware. There's all different. This just proved to show you there's all sorts of scams on the internet, and just be careful. If something doesn't sound right, you can always hang up and attend to that issue later or the next day. Scammers notoriously want you to hurry and send me your phone. Hurry and do this. Hurry, send me the money. Hurry, send your phone in. So in real life, chill. You can hang the phone up on them. I've done that before. And they call back literally 15 times. Well, that's a scammer, because no reputable company is going to call you back 15 times in a row. So if something doesn't feel right, just simply hang up. And you don't even have to say anything. Just hang up and deal with it later. Sooner or later, the real issue or non-issue will show its face and come to light. So that'll do it for today's daily tech news show. I do appreciate the time. Got to run, but like I said, just beware of those scams going around, and beware Apple. The new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is here to take over for 2024. So thank you for your time. I will see you on the next one, and I'll put all these links in the description box below. And you'll have a good rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.